right, thank you. Appreciate that. A lot of our answers coming in. Sleeping. Yep, that's a good one.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karla. I'm one of the advisors at MIR. We're going to introduce ourselves in a little bit, but we're just going to wait like one more minute for folks to join us. You all are doing some really interesting activities. I've been watching The Price is Right while doing my emails, so that's been some fun multitasking for me.
Yeah, same. I think when Karla and I met yesterday. So again, my name's Amado. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Amado, one of the advisors as well. It's interesting. We found out that we actually do the same thing during the same time. So I also watch The Price is Right while I'm also answering questions. So. All right.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get started now because I think we've started kind of slowing down on our responses. So let's go ahead and move into the presentation. If you want to take some notes while we're talking, feel free to do that. If you have questions, feel free to submit those towards the end of the session. We will have some time for some Q&A. And there are Q&A, I believe there's a Q&A function at the bottom of the screen in the Zoom bar. So feel free to use that to ask your questions. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Academic Advising at CASP 101. My name is Karla Kastner, and I'm one of the advisors at MIR College. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a first-gen college grad. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. And I'll let Amado.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. Again, my name is Amado. I'm an academic counselor at Warren. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And I'm a UCSD alum as well, actually. I graduated from UC San Diego back in 2013.
Okay, so before we jump into the presentation, we just wanted to kind of share some intentions for today's session. So we're going to provide an introduction to advising at UCSD and how it works. We're also going to be covering the point of a college advisor. So we kind of want to share with you what our roles are, and then how you can connect with college advising before fall. And then also some important dates for fall quarter enrollment, because we know that's coming up and everyone wants to know about it. And then, like I said, there'll be some time for Q&A at the end. So write down your questions, and then you can use the chat function to send those questions to us, okay? So we'll get started by kind of talking about how advising works at UCSD. And we can go to the next slide. All right, so navigating UCSD advising. So essentially, UCSD has what we call a decentralized advising model. And what that means is that there's not one single person that you go to get all of your questions answered. We have special advisors in many different areas that you'll go to throughout your academic career. Now, the benefit of this is you're going to get some really specialized knowledge relating to your different questions that you have. But that also does mean that you have to make the time to go and see those different advisors. So essentially, we have a diagram here, and it kind of talks about how your advising team is built. So every one of you has an advising team at UCSD, and that's going to be made up of your college advisor, your major advisor, and then other specialized advisors. So Amado and I are both college advisors, and we can talk with you about your GEs, your university requirements, and a lot of other types of questions. Also, if you don't know where to go or who to ask your question, please come and see us, because we are kind of like your home base, and we will refer you to the person that you should be talking to. So it's always a good idea to just start with your college advisor, and then we can refer you based off of that. Your major advisor. So every academic department at UCSD has an advisor that you can speak with. So if you're a biology major, you'll want to talk with your biology major. If you're a sociology major, you'll want to talk with your sociology advisor. If you're undeclared and you're not really sure about your major, then any department that you're interested in, you can actually go speak with those advisors. So, and then you also have some specialists. So there's advisors at career services, and they can talk with you about jobs, resumes, internships. We also have an academic internship program, so you can actually do an internship and get academic credit for that. There's also the study abroad office. So if you want to go study abroad, then you could go talk to those advisors. And then financial aid. So financial aid also has their own advisors that you can speak with if you have any questions about your financial aid. And really so much more. So there's a lot of different kinds of advisors. So, that's kind of how your advising team is made up. So next we'll move on to kind of talking more about our roles.
Yeah, so as Karla mentioned, there's sort of this difference between the college advisors and our major advisors. And one of our common complaints on campus is sort of, and it's just the way that works. And I think it actually can serve as an advantage, right? Is again, having to go to both your major advisors and college advisors. So while it's, sometimes it can feel a little inconvenient to have to go to multiple locations. I think the advantage of that is that you get very specialized advising in terms of, and very focused, right? So let's talk a little bit about the difference between both. So for college advisors, we can help you with understanding and planning your GEs, your general ed requirements, and university requirements. So there's a set of requirements that each student needs to meet in order to be eligible to graduate. And so we help oversee those two sections of those requirements. We help you learn more about the university policies and what those deadlines are in terms of having to meet those, to make informed decisions about your academic situation before a deadline approaches, to connect to campus resources that can help you reach your goals, to also clarify your long-term educational goals and interests, and to explore majors and be able to find one. We also know that we have a lot of students who are either coming in undeclared or interested in one of our capped majors. And so those are sometimes the difficult conversations that you're confused, you're lost, you're not sure what to do. We're the folks to have that conversation with at first and kind of get you started on that journey to really find something that you feel like you are going to be happy doing once you're done 4 years from now. And then in general, getting things back on track. So life happens. Although we're focused on academic advising, I would say that at least 30 to 35% of the work that we do is also around non-academic stuff related, situations that come up. And so those things come up and we're here for you all. If there's a situation you're not sure what to do, again, Karla mentioned it earlier, but if you don't know who to go to, come to us, right? And we can have that get the conversation started and then kind of guide you from there as to who you need to go to. Now, understanding again a little bit of the difference between the college advisors, the major advisors can help you with understanding and planning those major requirements. But it also helps you learn more about the different majors within a specific department, right? So each of the departments sometimes have a list of different options that you can choose from. Understanding the department policies and procedures, clarify questions about the prerequisites, connect you to a potential research, internship, or even TA opportunities. Undergrad students do oftentimes do TA opportunities, so that's something that you could talk to the department and see if that's even an option. And then provide information about graduate professional school options that the department may also be able to offer. Okay, so again, a big part of it is, and ultimately the big point is we just want you to come and see us, right? So either see us or see a major advisor, get the conversation started, get you kind of going on the right track so that 4 years from now you feel like you've maximized your opportunities here at UCSD. Now, we also truly believe that we can help you be successful during your time here at UCSD. But again, in order for you to be able to do that, we need you to see us, right? We want to be part of that process, and we want you to allow us to be part of that process. Now, as part of the requirement for CASP, it is required for you to meet with college advisors at least 2 times per quarter during your first year. And again, that's just kind of to check in, see how you're doing, see how academics are going, especially during that fall quarter. And especially now that a lot of courses are going to be remote, I think it's going to be even more important that you make time to check in with us, at least, those 2 times throughout the quarter. A lot of us will be available via Zoom walk-ins. And so although it's not the same as meeting with you all in person, we can still try and build those relationships with you all during the time here. It is implemented a little bit different at each of the colleges. And so again, we're coming in from sort of like a general standpoint. You'll get more information from each of the advisors on what how to meet with the advisors, what the expectations are, and just kind of how to get a hold of us. But just keep an eye out for your individual colleges, what those requirements in terms of how to connect with us are going to be. And then in order to do that, we want you to make sure to read your VAX, the Virtual Advising Center, those messages that come in through there, especially, and as well through UCSD email for more information. For now, you can access Academic Advisor starting on August 3rd. So next week, starting on August 3rd by going to vac.ucsd.edu. You'll be able to ask us questions electronically in regards to fall quarter schedule. Your course recommendations are coming out this upcoming Friday. And so you'll be able to see what we've recommended. That's what we're working on right now. We're still finalizing those. I know Karla can attest to that too. I know we're in grind mode right now. We're trying to get this done, right? So you'll get those recommendations. And but in order for you to get those recommendations, we also want to make sure that you've done your academic background. So if you don't know what we're talking about, or you can just go back and double check. But make sure you filled out that academic background, as the deadline was July 15th. So again, you will not be able to access those recommendations or see an advisor until you've filled that out. So we can't emphasize that enough. If you already did it, don't worry, you'll definitely get your course recs on Friday. So next, we want to basically put names to faces and to kind of know that these are the folks that you can go to. So these are your point of contact. So these are representatives for each of the colleges that work with CASP. And so as you can see here, it varies per college, different levels, right? But, you have Arnell Tan, who's an academic counselor at Revelle. Karla, who's also part of this presentation, right? She's a senior academic advisor at MIR. Emily is the assistant dean at Marshall. She's represented for that college. I am representing right now at Warren College. Lydia is at Eleanor Roosevelt College. She's a senior academic counselor. Arthur would be your representative at 6 as a senior academic advisor. And then for our new college, as part of the family, Stephanie Pineda is an academic advisor at 7th. So these are representatives. And then really quickly, I'm actually just filling in for Isabel, who is out somewhere in the Midwest and for the summer, but doing some important work. But you likely will be hearing for Warren College from her throughout starting in the fall quarter or sometime in the fall quarter. But if it's not from her, it'll be coming from me.
Okay, so now we've got some important dates coming up. If you want to take a screenshot of these dates, it might be a good time to do that. Getting ready for fall quarter enrollment. So your enrollment time, you can actually already go on Triton Link and view that. You just have to go to tritonlink.ucsd.edu, and there is a banner at the top part of the screen. And if you click that, you'll be able to view your enrollment appointment time. So that is a very important time. You want to write down the day, the time, the moment, sign into WebReg a minute before, and really get ready to sign up for your classes. You don't want to miss that time. The deadline to complete Compass is going to be July 31st. So when you log into New which is located at the VAC. It's vac.ucsd.edu. You should have like a main screen there, and it actually talks about all of the different things that you need to do. So Compass, is one of those things. So Compass is kind of like an introduction to everything. So you have until Friday to complete it. The next thing you need to do is register for orientation. So that is required. Orientation is a really great time. It will be online this year, but we've been working hard to make it fun and interactive experience. And so the deadline to sign up for a session is going to be July 31st. And then really importantly, as the Amado was saying, course recommendations are going to be available July 31st. So when you go to the VAC, you'll be able to look at your course recommendations. Right now, you keep them because they're not ready. But on July 31st, you will be able to look at those. And so if you have any questions about them, you can ask us questions beginning that following Monday. So we said the VAC opens. That is the online advising. So over the summer, we basically are advising students through the VAC, and August 3rd is going to be the time when you can start asking us questions, and it is a real human being that's going to answer you back. So it's not some AI or something like that. It's actually and it's the advisors from your college that will be answering you back. And then new student enrollment. So that is going to begin on August 12th for all of you first year students. And then there's a window of time where you have to enroll in your classes. And that's kind of how all of the dates are going to work leading up to new student enrollment. And I guess we're ready for questions. So I do see some questions coming in. Let me just take a moment to kind of look through them. Okay, so I have somebody asking, what if we don't have our enrollment time on my Triton link? Try logging into students.ucsd.edu. There should be like an announcements section, and it should say enrollment times available, and it's kind of hyperlinked. So if you click on that, then you should be able to sign in with your PID and your password, and it should have that listed for you. If for some reason you can't find it or log into it, then my recommendation is to write into your college advisor starting August 3rd, and we can help you figure out why that might be happening. And I was gonna go and show us how to get there.
So you'll see, I went to tritonlink.ucsd.edu or again, students.ucsd.edu. And you'll see here on the banner, it says announcement and deadlines. So actually starting on July 27th, the fall enrollment appointment times were available. And you'll see here on my Triton link. And so if for some reason it's not available, make sure that you've done everything. Compass, academic background, all of that information that may or may not play a part into that. If you're having difficulties, go ahead and contact your college, most of us have like a general like advising email account, so you can just send in an email for now before you get access, because again, you won't have access to asking us questions through the VAC until the 3rd of August. So for now, you can use those general and email accounts, and then just we can help you investigate as to maybe why you're not getting an enrollment time. But this here, right here, will link you to that, and that's where you should be able to find it.
Let's see. Oh, we have somebody from Warren who's asking a question. They say, I registered for the Warren College orientation. Is there any other orientation that I need to sign up for?
So no, and I think again, for now, just make sure that you're signed up for each of your individuals, because it's going to apply to all the colleges. Make sure that you've signed up for your own college's orientation. It is important that you attend that. You do get a lot of important information. It's a lot of information, but it is information that will definitely help you prepare as you come into the fall quarter. So at least for now, that's it. And then, but I guess I'll just add to that make sure that you are checking your UCSD email frequently. We can't emphasize that enough. UCSD email is very important. Keep track of that one. I know we're all used to sort of checking our own personal email accounts, but it's also important to transition to also double checking that at least once a day, because you're going to get a lot of important information. So it's important for you to just kind of keep up with that. If there is anything else that you need to do, you may also get emails potentially through your UCSD email account.
Yeah, I'd also like to emphasize checking your UCSD email. When we're trying to reach out to you, that's the way that we're going to do it. And so if you're not checking that email, you're going to miss some important messages from your college advisor and also your major advisor. So you want to definitely be checking there. Also, the virtual advisor is super important because we tend to send our messages there as well. And that is the secure portal that all campus communication is sent through. So if you're not checking that, you're missing out on a lot of important information as well. So we really just want to enforce how important that is. Okay, so I do have some more questions coming in, which is awesome. How are we able to switch our major? So you won't be able to switch your major until you are enrolled in fall classes. So you have to first be enrolled in something. And then using the Triton Link tools, which you can see on the screen right there in the right-hand panel, you'd click there, and then it will come up with a bunch of tools, and one of them is called the Major Minor tool. So you can actually log in and change your major that way. If it's a capped major, then you're not able to use that tool to switch into the major. All capped majors have a separate application process, and you have to go onto the department's website to find out what that process is. So as long as the major is open, you can feel free to change it. But if it's capped, you have to go through the department's process.
The next question I see is, will the course recommendation just recommend classes we should take but not have to take? And will it only be regarding or in regards to our GEs? Course recs include, so we spend a good amount of time, and again, each of the colleges does it a little bit different. So you, at the very least, you'll get a general outline of courses that you need to follow, which include major and GE courses that you will need to sign up for. We've taken a look at any of your, so the reason why academic background is very important is if UCSD admission hasn't been able to get to post your credits at this point, we're going off of what you put in as scores that you may have received for your course recs. And so a lot of scores have been posted, so most of them, the course recs should be pretty accurate, but if it's based off of what you reported, we may have made a note on there that says, this is based off of what you reported. You'll need to make sure that the courses are where the credit is posted officially in order for this to be true. They are recommendations, so again, it's not required, but we do spend a lot of time on these. So with that recommendation, we hope that you do take it pretty serious, for lack of a better word, right? Or that you at least use that as best as you can as a template. We are looking at, again, official scores, 4-year plans, working with the major based off of what they provided on our plans to try and provide you the most accurate recommendations that we can. So if you're able to follow them, we highly recommend that you do that. And then as to where you're going to be able to see them, again, you're going to have to log into vac.ucsd.edu on the 31st. And then that's where you'll be able to see those course recommendations.
Yeah, and when you go into the VAC portal, there might be a section in your site that says preparing to enroll, and that section is currently viewable, and it might have like a WebReg tutorial listed there, things like that. So that might be helpful to kind of look and see. It goes over like how to read the schedule of classes, how to prepare to use WebReg, so that could be something useful to utilize. And if you don't see it when you're in there, you can just Google WebReg tutorial UCSD and it will come up for you. Let's see.
I'll go ahead. I'll show it on here again. You can actually access it through Triton Link. I just went to Triton Link Tools. Under Triton Link Tool Help, you'll find the WebReg tutorial right over here. As soon as you click on it, it'll start playing. So I won't do that, but you'll see it right here.
Okay, and then someone is asking regarding class selection, which course option must we choose for completely online classes. So on the schedule of classes, when you're looking at different ones, you're going to want to look for the designation RCLAS, and that means remote class. Not all classes are going to be fully remote. It really depends on the department and the type of class. So you'll just have to look when you go to the course recommendations and you see what we're recommending, then you can look at the schedule of classes to see, okay, is that going to be remote, in person, hybrid? Hybrid is sort of like a combination. So you might be going to the lecture on the discussion section, might be in person. So it really varies.
Trying to kind of quickly walk you through the process, but you'll see here scheduled classes, or on WebReg, you'll be able to see sort of the differences. When you find a department, each of the classes will highlight that, as Karla mentioned. While this is loading, I know it was answered a little earlier, but I want to address it kind of to the general group. So someone had asked about if you're assigned to a specific advisor. Technically, no. We are the points of contact for you all as CASP students within each of the colleges. And so, but again, because of just staffing numbers and all of that, we aren't always able to meet with every single one of you for the colleges. So you're not assigned to a specific advisor. However, as the quarter goes through, if you become very, feel comfortable with a specific advisor, you can certainly request to meet with us. And if we're not able to meet with you, or we're not available during the time that you come in, we can either try and schedule an appointment, or someone will give you our availability so that you can come back in and try and meet with one of us. So you can definitely request folks as you become familiar with academic counselors. And that may not always be us as your representatives, right? You may build a relationship with one of the other counselors. And so that's okay. We want you to just feel comfortable as you're coming into the office. We know that we love doing this work, but we also know we don't always, our relationships can be built very differently. And so we just want you to feel comfortable as you're coming in. All right, this is not loading, but so just again, refer to this here in terms of on campus. It'll still have an actual building and a room number. Again, RCLAS for the remote. If it's hybrid, it'll have both. And then again, I'm getting the how do we check our enrollment times online Triton link. So again, I'll go back to the Triton link page on the landing banner. There's my Triton link right here is where you can check. So you'll have to click on it and log in. Because I'm not a student, I won't be able to show you exactly what it is, but go ahead and play around with the system. It'll ask you to log in your student ID, your password in order for you to log in and be able to check your enrollment.
Okay, I do see somebody asking if the required CASP courses will be included in the planning tool, or do we just have to avoid scheduling classes at the same time as the CASP courses? So your course recommendations will have the EDS class that you're supposed to take for CASP located there, but you will need to check the times and everything for your different classes to make sure there's not any time conflicts. So, if the CASP class, the EDS 50, is going to be, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 10, then you want to make sure everything else is scheduled around that. When you go to the schedule of classes, you can, and you can use the planning tool as well, but you can kind of start to make sure that you don't have those time conflicts. It does look like we are at time. So it's been really nice talking to all of you. Thank you for coming to today's session, and we look forward to getting your questions through the vet and also meeting you in the fall.
Thank you so much, Karla and Amado. So as mentioned, if you do have questions, I believe, Karla, you mentioned those could be directed to vac.ucsd.edu. And if you just have questions about wanting to know more, please go ahead and direct yourself to your college website, and that's where you can find more information. Or please contact your college via the email that you will find on the college website. If you are having difficulty, for any student that has an assigned summer intern, please know that group activities have started at 11 a.m. So please make sure to follow the link. If you have any other questions as well and you're just feeling really unsure, email casp@ucsd.edu and we will help direct you to the right place. Thank you so much once again, Karla and Amado.
Bye.
Jason, I'm gonna go to the group activity. I don't know if you want to stay, see if there's any questions for students that may not have a summer intern assigned.
Mm-hmm. Did you remind them about the group activities?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of you have questions? Well,
Jason, do you want to go ahead and stop the recording?
oh yeah,